Good evening. In today's session, let's discuss regarding the manner and the procedure of the election of the President of India. As we know, under the Constitution of India, the President has a 5 years term, and that 5 year term for the current President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovind, is going to come to an end by July 24th, 2022, meaning before July 24th, 2022, the election to the office of the president has to be completed and notification will be issued. Election will be conducted by none other than the Election Commission of India. Now, when you look at this election, anybody who is interested to contest in the election of the president may submit the nomination form. But you need to follow certain criteria, and if any nomination is not meeting that criteria, that nomination form is duly rejected by the Election Commission of India. This is what happens every time. So many non-serious candidates also submit the nomination form, but most of the times these nomination papers are rejected. And if you look at the Constitution, the President of India is elected. The President of India is elected by a method called proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. Proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. In this particular situation, who is going to vote? Constitution also decided about this particular one. Constitution has mentioned about the electoral college. Electoral college means a group of members who are permitted to vote in the election of the President of India. But who are they? When you look at the members in the electoral college, they are the elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of the state legislative assemblies, and also the elected members of legislative assemblies of Delhi and Pondicherry. So these are all the people who are included in this particular group, and that is called electoral college, and only those people are permitted to vote in the election. Meaning the presidential election is indirect. Presidential election is indirect. Presidential election is not direct. Meaning people are not voting directly in the election of the president, but the representatives of the people are voting in the election of the president. That is the reason why this is called an indirect election. Point number one. Number two, there is no limitation how many members can contest. Whoever is following the criteria and all the nomination forms that satisfy Election Commission of India, they are permitted to contest in the elections. Now, if you look at how exactly the vote value of these MLAs and MPs is calculated. Before that, let me tell you one point. If you look at Lok Sabha, the current strength of Lok Sabha is 543. Earlier, there used to be 2 nominated members, meaning President was permitted to nominate not more than 2 Anglo-Indians to the Lok Sabha. But that has been discarded. That is the reason why we have only elected members in the Lok Sabha, and the strength is 543, and all the 543 members are permitted to vote in the election. Now, if you look at Rajya Sabha, maximum strength of Rajya Sabha is 250. Current strength is 245. Out of this 245, 233 members are elected by the elected members of the legislative assemblies, and remaining 12 members are nominated by the President of India. People who got experience and prominence in the fields of this science, arts, literature and social service, they are nominated by the president to the Rajya Sabha. Of course, since president is a de jure head, president will follow the advice that is given by de facto head of the nation, that is none other than the Prime Minister. Meaning, whoever is nominated by the President of India, nothing but the choice of the Prime Minister of India. Now, if you look at Rajya Sabha, these 233 members who are elected are permitted to vote in the election. Not these 12 members, meaning the nominated members are not permitted to vote in the election. Earlier, when there used to be 2 members nominated in the Lok Sabha, they were also not permitted. And in the assemblies also, there used to be one nominated members. One nominated member, that person was also not permitted to vote in the election. Clear? And kindly remember, nomination of Anglo-Indians to the Lok Sabha and assemblies has been discarded by the constitutional amendment. Clear? So this is what happens. Now, if you look at the various assemblies, if you look at the assemblies of 28 states plus assemblies of Delhi and Pondicherry, you have total 4,120 members, 4,120 MLAs, 543 Lok Sabha members, 233 Rajya Sabha members, 4,120 MLAs, and altogether the total is coming to 4,896. 4,896. So this is the strength. These members are permitted to vote in the election of the president. For this purpose, the vote value is calculated, and vote value of an MLA will vary from state to state because the concept of population comes into picture. That is the reason why, if you look at the strength of Assembly of UP, Uttar Pradesh, the strength is 403. And if you look at Goa, the strength is 40. And if you look at Sikkim, the strength is little low again. And that is the reason why, if you look at the vote value of an MLA in Sikkim, that is just 7. Just 7, but whereas in Goa, the vote value, in Goa you have 40 members in the assembly. And each MLA will have an vote value of 20. So 40 into 20, the total will be 800 from Goa. But whereas it is more than 83,000 total value of all the MLAs votes in Uttar Pradesh. So it will vary from the state to state. Later, the vote value of the member of the parliament is calculated, and that is coming to 708. And if you add all these, the total vote value will be more than 10 lakhs. So nearly that will be, this 11 lakhs, I'll give you the exact figure. That will be 10 lakhs 98,903. Right? So you are calculating MLA vote, right? And you are calculating MP vote value. MP vote value is coming to 708. And MPs and MLAs put together, you are getting 10 lakhs 98,903. So this is the vote value of all these 4,896 members who are the members of the electoral college. Now, out of all these votes, a winning candidate must get minimum 50% plus 1 vote. Important one, right? So this is not minimum 51%, it is 50% plus 1. A winning candidate must get this, then only election commission will be declaring this person as the winner. This is what is happening in this every election of the president since beginning. And whenever if no candidate is getting more than 50% in the first round, then the person who got least number of votes in the first round counting will be eliminated. So his preferential votes will be transferred to the other contestants, and again the votes will be calculated. Right? So that is the reason why. So this is called proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. Meaning, a person who is voting in the election of the president is not just voting for a particular candidate, but he is giving preference to the candidate. So this is based on the preferential, right? And based on the preference, anyone who is getting more than 50% will be declared elected by the election commission. So the you know, the time is very near, and very soon the political parties in India, they are going to announce their support to a particular candidate. And if you look at, Bharatiya Janata Party, yeah, of course it does not have the, this more than 50% support on its own. That is the reason why definitely BJP has to take the support of, some other political parties, maybe on the other side, which may be led by, the Congress party or any other political party, right? And these political parties may be forming a group, and they may field a consensus candidate, and that person may be winning, but we need to wait and watch for the results. Fine. So this is regarding the election manner of the president of India, and India is going to have a new president from July 25th 2022. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next session.